This is Elmer from Distant, and you're listening to the Dan Chan Show.
So I'm joined by Elmer, bass player from deathcore Titans Distant. How you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Oh, good. So I was gonna ask you about being on tour with the guys, and obviously how what a week it is in the States to be in the States, but you're not actually in the States with the guys. Tell me what's going on. Obviously, you've got a family, you've got an important job, which we'll go into later. So tell me why you're not on the road.
Yeah, well, I was there for the first 2 weeks of the tour. It's now 4 weeks in this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm home for 2 weeks now almost. Uh, yeah, May most of the time the maximum I tour is roughly 2 or 3 weeks. Because I'm the only band member that has kids. I have two kids at home, 3 and 5 years old. So uh, yeah, they cannot uh, hang out that long without me. That's one thing, and the other thing is that I'm starting a pharmaceutical company myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very busy with that as well.
Wow. Well, I want to get into
Yeah,
that. But first off, what's it like when you go on the road and it's your baby? Obviously, you record on the albums, right?
yeah.
What's it like handing the bass over to someone else? Do you get sort of resentment, or are you so focused on being at home, everything?
It's it is very tough. I
I
must
can only
say.
imagine.
So yeah, but I've yeah, like I think about the long term goals, what we worked to as a band,
Yeah.
and about the long term of it. Because if I manage it like this, that means that I can do multiple tours a year. I can do it for a longer period instead of either going full in and having to abandon my family,
Right.
basically, my other
Of
job,
course.
or
Wow.
having to quit it completely
Yeah.
and not having anything.
That's mad. You're the first guy I've spoken to with this scenario. I've done like nearly 200 interviews, and you're the first guy I've spoken to that has this, that actually takes that time out. Now, who is filling in for you? Is it the same guy that always fills in for you? My research, I'm going to sack them
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. We got Vincent Klok, also a Dutch guy, Dutch bassist, very good one. So I'm happy that he always fills in for me.
Cool.
I basically fly out of the States and he flew in the day after.
Right.
Uh,
So you don't even see each other. It's like you just
oh, not
waving at each other
not
on
in
the
the
phone.
US. Here in Europe, he flies in one day earlier, so I can hang out with him a bit and show him where I store my bass. But now I just have to message him like, "Hey,
Wow.
bass is in good hands."
What a fascinating story. So anyway, let's get into the new music, shall we? Because I want to talk about this new release, which is out next week. It's the now I'm going to
Yeah,
get this right, Tsukuyomi, the origin.
Tsukuyomi. Yeah,
So now, for those that know, this is like your debut EP, but as I like to say, on steroids, with 6 tracks being reimagined, and then you've got
exactly.
like 7 new tracks, brand new. First off, what was the reasoning behind going down this route of a revamped release?
Yeah, Tsukuyomi is basically your first EP, first thing that we uh, did when we were like a solid lineup
Yeah.
with Alan there. Uh, Back then, we didn't have any resources. We did everything on a budget. Uh, so we had to figure out tricks of the trade, let's say.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we established our sound. We figured out how we do things. Uh, but we still had this like rough diamond in our hands that we already released, but we were like, yeah, we can do it better. Um, so we had this plan to revamp it already for a very long time. And on the other end, we figured like, yeah, why not add a couple more songs that have the same vibe and uh, just make it a full album.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So how do you, when it comes to writing new tracks, how do you approach new tracks? And is it a band collaboration or is it more of an individual endeavor?
Uh, it's it's mostly Nuri, the guitarist, that's continuously writing. He's a real genius in that, and we divided our yeah tasks accordingly. Let's say so. He's always in writing mode, even now on the road. Like he's behind his computer and still writing songs. So he's a magician in that, and then after he's made the rough skeleton of a track, let's say, then rest of us will have a look at it.
Do you ever, when you hear what he's done, do you ever like get those, like when those stink face tracks come through, these face melting, like, do you ever like look at you when the files come through, you go, oh wow, that's
Oh yes.
you must laugh out loud because I fucking love it. I was in the
Yeah.
gym. I listen to you guys when I'm in the gym, and it makes me pump so much harder, man. It's like
Yeah.
But you guys, when you're hearing that for the first time, and you're like, this is going to go on the new album. This is fucking awesome. What's
Oh
it feel
yeah.
like?
Yeah. Definitely. And then like the other thing is playing those songs live for the first time. That's
Yeah,
yeah, next level rush of energy.
absolutely. I can only imagine, man. So tell me about the guests and the collaborations. How do they come about? You got some great artists and great guests on this new album. So tell me about that.
Yeah, we've got a long tradition of working with friends, working with musicians that we look up to, working with bands that we are on the road with, and this album again is a great mixture of it. You got Travis from Enterprise Earth, who we're doing our co-headline tour with
Yeah.
soon. Got Alex from the Spiced Icon, which we toured with 2 years back, and yeah, we grew up listening to the Spiced Icon, of course. So it's it's a mix, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, with all this in mind, how do you feel the band has evolved since the debut, since the beginning? How do you feel personally that the band's evolved?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's a bit of a rough diamond that we polished. Uh, it's more of a old machine now. We all know what to do and uh, what to expect. Let's say, uh, but I think it also makes it easier,
Mm,
I guess, because we're so like getting used to the routines that we're having at the moment, and which is of course like a very crazy routine to be a touring musician, because
of
yeah,
course.
you have to be everywhere around the world every other day.
Mm. Now, obviously, you've chosen your path in that, but how do the other guys cope with that? Do they cope with it well?
Yeah, so in regards to what I'm doing, they're coping with it very well. So they know that yeah, this is just how distant works. This has been implemented from the start.
Right.
So, but also for them, they're used to their life, how it is now on being on the road,
Yeah.
basically all year long, and just grinding.
Of course, absolutely. Now, before we get into the touring, which I want to talk to you about, if it's okay, I want to take
Yeah,
this opportunity to say how sorry I was to hear about that fucking disaster that happened with your vehicle getting broken into.
yeah,
I mean, what a horror! And tell me about how that was, the feelings of that, and then, obviously how the community came together to support you.
yeah. It's been a tough one, but like from the start, I've been saying to the guys like it's a matter of time before anything like this happens. It's just a statistical chance. It cannot happen to any other band or whoever out there. And you see it online of all these bands, and we never get any trouble. And now that summer tour, we run into every trouble. We never had a flat tire before. We had 5 or 6 on this tour.
Right.
Uh, I got robbed twice. So I got robbed in my own RV, which I was in with my family, and then 2 weeks later I joined the guys, and then we directly get robbed as a band. So
Talk about
luck,
bad luck,
luck
man.
was not on our side, and then the whole RV broke down. We still in discussion with the company about having to compensate them because yeah, all these things broke down.
Yeah.
So it's just been a bit of a disaster.
With
And
those things, though, I mean, do you find that, how do you deal with that kind of shit? And I can imagine it brings you closer as a band and the people you care about. That must bring you
yeah,
a little bit more cohesion. Is that right?
it is because like so there's two sides of the story of a touring band, of course. There's on one end there's the band itself, which is
Mm.
the organization, the company, and then there's all these crew members that are joining you, which
Cool.
are just hired hired crew. As a band, we got yeah, solid fan base. We got companies, and we got our back from the record label and uh, the touring agencies, of course. But these crew members, they have nothing besides us, so they
Right.
rely on us for income. They rely on us for safety, on everything else.
Yeah.
And uh, to me, like because I got robbed so many fucking times already, like my backpack got stolen so many times already on tours. I'm getting used to it. How sorry it is to say, uh,
Mm.
but for them, I feel more sorry because, for
Of
example, a
course.
photographer is all uh, setup got stolen, which
Yeah.
is worth 20K of um, photography material, and that's he has to do, I don't know, 20 tours or whatever with us in order to get that back. So
Mm.
that's where I felt most sorry, and that's
Of
also
course.
why we decided to start this GoFundMe campaign just
Yeah.
to compensate most of the crew with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. What did it get up to? The GoFundMe.
Uh, it went up to like 17K or something.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Pretty good.
surprisingly good. Uh,
Awesome.
so we're very happy that we have this solid
Support. And that
support.
must warm
Yeah.
your heart, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
The
It's,
community is it's the best community in the world.
yeah, the metal
Yeah.
community is very strong one.
Yeah,
So we had
absolutely.
a lot of support, a lot of kind words, and everybody trying to help in some way.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, tour wise in Europe, now I assume you're going to be a part of the tour that starts at the end of January, the Origin of Madness tour. How excited are you
Yeah,
for that? And when you come to, do you get to pick like the best bits of the tour? Like, I want to play those cities
uh,
because or those venues because they're the best, or do you get the shit end of the stick and you go, listen, I'll start the tour, do the first 2 weeks because that's all I can afford off, and then how does it work?
yeah. So uh, of course that's the perks of running the band. Of course, is to have to be able to choose like what part or what shows I can play.
Yeah,
Because I just got a limited of time that I can take off from home, and
sure.
I want to use it most wisely. So the the biggest shows and the biggest crowds are obviously the most attractive to play because that means that most people that come to a show will see the full band
Yeah,
play these shows.
yeah, of
Uh,
course.
but in general, I I think I always play the first part of the tour just so I can. Uh,
Just until everyone gets a bit tired and a bit bored of each other, you leave.
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I I try to I try to organize it most. So the start of the tour is always the most hectic because then you have to figure out like how the daily schedule is going to be.
Of course.
So once it's 2 weeks in, I'm pretty sure that the guys can handle everything and that everything is gonna go smooth for the rest of the tour.
Mm,
If not, then I know that I have to just step in more from home and
I see. Interesting.
try to help out.
I love it. So for people like me who haven't seen you live yet, what's a distance show like with you in it?
Crazy, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
good.
missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Shitloads of energy.
oh yes. Yeah. So we don't care if there's 10 people or 1,000 people in the room.
Yeah.
I even prefer 10 people because that means that I can mosh.
Yeah.
But in general, well, like I just love to play music, and so do the rest of the guys. So uh, we go full crazy. Doesn't matter what day or what show it is.
Of course, but best way to do it. So for 2025, obviously you got the tour at the beginning of the year. Do you have any
Yeah.
festival dates lined up next year? Do you take part in the festivals because they're a bit more, I don't know, good for networking and everything?
Yeah. So that's what I did this summer. Next summer we're doing USA.
Right. Okay.
So we're skipping the whole festivals in Europe
Okay.
and hopefully come back even stronger the year after.
Okay. Cool. So being the strong father-like character that you are, Elmer, with this band, what are your pre-show rituals? Do you have anything specific that you get up to?
Ooh. Uh, no,
No,
not really.
no
Uh,
warming up, no press ups, no, I don't know, few drinks, few shots or something.
no, it's not needed anymore.
Mm.
Uh, used to be, but now, like I said, it's a pretty old machine now. So
Yeah, of course.
uh, what my ritual is most of the time is just get to my get to my bass guitar 20 minutes before the show starts. First help out the drummer, and we set up our rack,
Yeah,
me and the guitarist, and go from there.
cool. So it's more, I'd imagine it's more of a sensible, it's like a more of a machine. It's more of a
Yeah,
sensible tour than any fun shenanigans going on, right?
it's getting less and less because well, when we started, you started as a band as a hobby, of course. So
Of course.
you just want to party all day in a different city.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, but yeah, eventually you figure out that if you have to do a full tour with the hangover, it's going to be
Doesn't
a
work.
very,
Doesn't
very long tour and very
doesn't
hard work.
work, man. Doesn't work.
So yeah, we we don't drink that much anymore. We don't party that much anymore.
Yeah,
But this means that we can hang out more at the shows and don't be tired in the backstage.
exactly. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Now, what do you prefer best? I might know this answer already, but do you prefer the studio or the stage?
Oh, definitely the stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Why is
I'm
that?
I just love the live energy. I just want to play breakdowns live.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
that's
That's
where I
it.
live for.
That's
So
it. Of course. Of course. Now, obviously, we're coming to the end of the year, man. I can't actually believe we're into the 11th month. All the Christmas adverts are on TV. I'm sure they're like that in the Netherlands, but it's
yeah,
driving me crazy seeing all this Christmas stuff. Now, what have been your highlights? And I know what your low point is of the year. I pretty much think I know that.
yeah.
But what's the highlight been?
Damn, it's been a very long year for us. So there's so many highlights. But I think starting off the year with our first ever Netherlands
Yeah,
tour, which was sold out. So we were really surprised by the show up that we had in the Netherlands. And then playing a couple shows with Suicide Silence,
yeah,
which we looked up to. So that was another highlight. Then we went on tour with Austrian Death Machine, which
mhm,
was just really, really fun.
yeah,
Uh, Another highlight. Then we went to the UK and Ireland for the first time together with Suffocation.
yeah.
Um, Another highlight. And
That's
then we
good.
had this full more than a month of festivals in the summer.
Yeah,
Also pretty big ones like Summer Breeze and Brutal Assault.
sure.
Um, and I think for me that was the biggest highlight because I had my family there. This was the first tour that I did where My kids and my wife joined for 2 weeks. We
Amazing.
had their own camper. So just being on stage and still being able to enjoy my family, that was, yeah, really nice.
Best of both worlds. Amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing, man. So obviously, as I said, we're in November. We're going to start discussing the best of the year soon for new music. Any album standouts for you in 24? Any new music?
Uh, um, I listened to Valve Maja a lot, but I think the album is from last year actually.
Yeah.
Uh, and otherwise, I don't know. I probably forgot a lot, but
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
um, nothing that's
Stood
that
out.
that much standing out.
Okay, cool. Now, can we, if you don't mind, Elmer, can we go
Yeah,
back in time to a young Elmer when we find out what got you into metal, what got you to where you are now? What
yeah.
was it? What was the period? What was the moment? What was that I don't know, euphoric, like, oh my God, this is it kind of feeling? What bands was it?
So I just had this discussion like the other day with my drummer because I'm 34, of 34 years old, and my drummer is 21 or
Oh
22.
wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I had this whole revelation when the first deathcore bands came around, and he was still playing Pokemon cards or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think, yeah, that's one of the most, yeah, inspiring things, I guess. When, yeah, Suicide Silence, Bring Me the Horizon, Osho Paris, they just came around in 2007,
Yeah.
and started listening to those bands. Um, of course, before that, you got like the classical Slipknot,
Yeah.
Rammstein,
Yeah, of course.
the usual. But I love that I've been part of this first wave of deathcore,
Yeah.
uh, and now playing in the band myself in this second wave of deathcore.
Amazing, of course. Who would be on your? This is interesting. I love asking this question. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of metal or music in general? Four people etched in stone with Elmer's signature underneath it. Who? What four artists would you have on that
Um,
rock face?
I think Mitch Lucker, Suicide Silence,
Yeah.
Chino from Deftones,
Okay.
uh, Anders Frieden from In Flames.
Mhm.
Uh, who else? I don't know. My wife, my
Like
kid.
it. Okay, good. That's all right. We're like that's the quickest answer I've ever had for that question. So that's pretty good. Well done, mate. Okay, here we go. This is one for you from your tour days or when you're touring now. If there
Yeah.
was to be a total mecca to rock and metal, where would it be in your opinion?
A
The
total
mecca,
what?
a total
Mecca.
mecca. Yeah, where would it be?
Oof. Probably Texas or Florida.
Really? Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's I just love Florida, man. That's why I left after the tour in Florida, then I flew home.
Okay. Fair enough.
Um, it's the people are just so crazy over there, and a lot of metal bands, and especially deathcore
Yeah.
originated there.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. What's your mellow go to when you just like want to just chill? Don't listen to metal. Do you listen to anything else?
No, no,
There's no
I'm
jazz in your
honest.
life.
Sorry.
There's no
Yeah,
jazz.
so I no, I don't listen. So what I like to chill out to is Deftones and In Flames.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
to. I'm still in this new metal period of
Okay.
2000s. So
That's good. I will
yeah,
allow that. That's all right, man. That's all right. Okay. Here's
it's
one. I love this question as well. What's your most unpopular musical opinion?
oof. That's probably that breakdowns are the best ever because all these metal elitists are like, yeah, breakdowns are too easy and give me riffs, but
Yeah.
I just love breakdowns, even though they're simple, they just have the energy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, away from music, we've already kind of like touched upon it, but I want to touch on it a bit more. I have to mention that you're not in a fucking face melting awesome band, but you're also a medical chemist too, which I
Yeah.
did a little bit of research on, I have to say. How do you manage it all? What's it's quite a big time thing that you're doing, right?
Yeah, so I did a PhD and a postdoc in pharmaceutical chemistry, uh, and I now for the last 3 years focused on starting my own company, and I did a lot of courses on management and just self-reflection. And I thought that I were doing these courses to evaluate if I have what I would choose. So if I would start my own pharmaceutical company or choose my band.
Right.
But basically, at the end of these courses, I figured out that I just have to do both.
Mm.
That's just what what drives me because I need the science on one hand to not have the monkeys playing music in my head. Let's say. I need some more tougher stuff or tougher material, and on the other end, I really need to release my energy and release my creativity with my band.
Amazing. Well, they got the best of both worlds, man.
Yeah, yeah. So and because I started my own company, I got my own flexibility in it. Even though I work with a whole team, but they all know of my situation, just like my band knows my
Yeah.
other situation. So
Incredible.
I'm just trying to explain both like what I'm doing and what I need time for, and because uh, I enjoy doing both, uh, I don't mind doing it either. So
Yeah.
either you can sit in front of your TV for a couple hours every day after you've done your work, or you just do something practical which you enjoy as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Now, you're the first person I've asked this question to, but Christmas is around the corner. We've already said it. What you're doing this year, how do you celebrate Christmas or however you want to call it in the Netherlands? And yourself, obviously.
Uh, yeah, what I normally do is I go to my parents-in-law, and with my father-in-law, we just go into the garden and dump the kids inside with grandma, and then
Yeah.
we barbecue all night and
Nice.
just drink. But just this year, we're going on a holiday with the whole family. So
Oh, anyway, nice. Where are you going?
uh, Cap Verde.
Where's that? Where's that?
It's islands
Oh,
uh,
okay.
in
Ah, I
next to
see.
Africa.
I see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So you're going for a sunny Christmas.
yeah, exactly.
Nice,
Yeah,
man.
so I'm lucky.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. So, because I want to ask this question as well. When the guys come back off tour, all tired and like
Yeah.
knackered and like ugh, shagged and everything, as we say, are you close? Do you hook up with them? Because obviously you don't all live in the same country. So, when will the next time you get with the guys be?
Yeah, so the next time will be me picking them up from the airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the perks of me leaving or getting back earlier is that I can always pick them up.
Wow,
So they
wow,
don't have to organize some pickup or whatever.
awesome.
Uh, and uh, but after that, I will let them rest for at least like 1 to 2 weeks because
Yeah, let them rest.
jet lag. I don't expect anything for
Like Elmer, leave us
productivity.
alone, Elmer. We've just been on the road. Just
Yeah,
leave us alone, man.
it's very tempting to just message them and like, come on, guys, we got to do this stuff. We literally got the album released 3 days after they arrived back, so
Right.
it's gonna be tough.
Are you
But
are you excited for that?
oh, I'm definitely excited. Yeah, uh, like I said earlier, like I'm full time packing merch orders at the moment. I'm
Yeah,
doing all the pre-orders at the moment, and I
amazing.
just I just can't wait to see the reactions on people's faces or their online presence on how they will react once they receive the new album.
Sure. Okay. What one track from your repertoire should I play next and why? What one track do you think sums Distant up the best?
I think for this one, it's going to be The Undying.
Yeah. Why?
I just love the whole vibe in it because and it got everything that we're doing. So we love to work with a lot of layers. So every time you listen to the track, you can pick up some different nuances in the background.
Yeah.
And on the other end, we implemented everything that we got into this track. So got really nasty breakdowns, you got very hard riffs, you got a solo. So I think that's everything that we can provide.
Sum
And
it up. I love that. I
yeah,
I agree. Now, a final question is, what's the most used emoji in your phone?
oh, I'm a dad, so I was gonna say the thumbs up, but I don't do that a lot. Uh, well, maybe it is.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Well, listen, Elmer, thank you so much for your time this evening. Listen, and have a great rest of the end of the year. Welcome the
You
guys back
too.
with open arms. Enjoy the tour in January for how many weeks you do, and keep safe on the road.
Yeah,
Lock things away. And thanks for the chat.
exactly. Thank you very much.